If you like this video, why not subscribe?
Hey everybody around the world, welcome back to the weekly recap Q&A. That's the show where I sit in my car and answer questions from last week, as well as share links down below that have accumulated on Facebook and Twitter for your enjoyment. So it's kind of like a podcast. If you just want to tab away and listen, that's great. If not, occasionally something whimsical might happen in the background, but probably not today. So we're going to go ahead and answer questions. If you have a question for this show, your best chance of getting it answered or read on the show is thefrugalfilmmaker@gmail.com. That's my email address. Possibly on Twitter, or not on Twitter, but on a YouTube comment. But that's just the best. Just go directly to me, and I'll do my best to answer it through the email as well as on the show if possible. But that's your best bet. So the first question we have today is from BOEITNI94. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that, on YouTube. They ask a question about the Frugal Floater video. It's the DIY Steadicam video. They say, I made one, not completely the same as yours, but mine pans around. How can I fix this? Well, it sounds like a balance issue. Those things are tricky to balance, whether it's a retail version or a DIY version. They're touchy. So I'm not exactly sure how to, if you're spinning around and panning, if you're not building it exactly the same way that I'm doing, I really am not sure how to answer your question, plus I'm not there. However, if you wait about a month or so, I'm coming out with another video, the Frugal Floater 2, which streamlines everything as far as the way it's built. You can really only build it one way. There's no PVC in this version, no cutting or drilling. So hopefully that will be a better version that will balance better. I'm still in the process of testing it right now, but if you wait about a month, that's the video you'll get, and so hopefully that will answer your questions, or at least address some of the issues of the previous version. All right, Chris Long asks, I'm trying to come up with an idea for a dash cam mount. I'm trying to use a Kodak ZI-8 as a dash mounted camera for various projects. I'd use the camera to film both inside and outside the car. Any ideas? Well, Chris, I'm not sure if you have seen my video suction cup camera mount, which is where I take one of those dual suction cups that are typically used to move pane glass, a handle with two suction cups that I use to mount outside the car with a ratchet strap as a safety. So I can refer you to that video either through the annotation or the link down in the description. That should be able to do what you want. As far as inside the car, I mean, it will stick to glass, so you could use the same idea, which uses not only the suction cup mount, but also the Frugal clamp that I built, which is kind of like a Manfrotto super clamp. It clamps to round objects like pipes or light stands or the suction cup mount. So that's what I would recommend. There's also, a while ago, I think I talked about on one of my shows, probably the, I remember what it was, probably the $1 budget show, that you had these inexpensive mounts on eBay that go on glass. They're also suction cup with a little tripod mount, so you can mount them inside your car on the front windshield, point them at yourself. Side windshield, those would be good, although I wouldn't recommend mounting those on the outside of the car, but they should be fine for the inside of the car. And I'll give you a link to those as well. Those are $5 to $10, I believe. So, but I'd recommend, I mean, I know for a fact that the dual suction cup mount works, the camera mount works, so check that one out. Okay, we got a message from Pronster1. Returns with a question saying, I was wondering if you could offer any tips on how to blend into the background so people don't stare at you and ruin the video you're taking. I realize it must be much harder for a guy like you, as you are so incredibly handsome. Oh, well, thank you, Pronster1. Way to worm your way into the show with flattery. Yeah, if you're doing any field shooting, run and gun type shooting, stealth shooting, which is what the question is this week, how do you stealth shoot? How does everyone else out there do this, where you want to blend into the background? I guess you just want to shoot maybe some documentary style stuff, or maybe you're in a park or whatever, and you don't want people staring at you and ruining your shot. This was kind of difficult in the past, I think, because cameras, video cameras, especially a camera like the Canon XL1 or XL2, I don't know if you remember those, were very space age looking, and they drew attention just because of the way they looked. But now, cameras are smaller. Cameras don't look like video cameras anymore a lot of the time. Like the DSLR cameras don't look like video cameras, they look like still cameras. So if you want to get a camera that helps you not stick out, that's always a good start. A lot of the cameras are small, like I'm using the Sanyo Exacti. I mean, it's a camera that's this tall, so it's it probably isn't gonna, it's not gonna draw as much attention as if you had a big old ENG shoulder mount camera. But if you're just talking about how to hide your existing camera, I'm not exactly sure, other than, to find something that's smaller and something that doesn't look like a video camera. Of course, even a still camera will draw attention because people don't necessarily want their picture taken. So I don't know. You could, hide it. Definitely have a hidden camera. Maybe put it around your neck so where it just sits there and isn't, hanging from a strap or something, so it doesn't look like you're actually holding it up to your face. Might be a way to do it. Of course, then you're shooting, just shoot really wide. You aren't going to be able to see what you're shooting per se, but that's one way. Act like you're not shooting video, which might rule out using a tripod or something like that to be more stealth. Just do things that don't typically say, hey, I'm shooting something, so we can get rid of the tripod, have a camera that doesn't look like you're shooting video, whether it's just sitting there around your neck or whatever. But I'm curious to hear about other people's input or experiences, how they would do this. It doesn't sound like you want an answer where you're hiding in something, like you're actually out moving around with people, so you want to be able to shoot and not attract attention, but you're not actually literally hiding like in a box or something like that. So anyway, if anybody has a comment about this, please share it below. Again, the question is, how do you stealth shoot? How would you tell Prawnster 1 to hide his camera or hide what he's doing so that he can get away with shooting in public and not attract attention? As far as everything else goes, last week the video was a shoulder rig, Frugal Shoulder Rig video, which a lot of people have been waiting for, and I got a lot of good comments because some people complain I didn't have any test footage, and the reason I didn't have that was because those rigs operate pretty much the same way. I didn't think test footage was necessary, and of course, as a result, I haven't tested it out in the field myself. I put it together and I liked what it was doing, so I went ahead and posted the video. But a lot of other people said, that little tiny counterweight on the back isn't going to be able to hold or balance out all the stuff on the front, which is a good point. So I definitely need to work on that portion a little bit, but I'm grateful for the input. Also, something that happened last week was I started my first blog post about my thesis film collection day, which I've been talking about, and you'll be hearing a lot more of over the summer because we're shooting in the fall. And so I'm starting, the social media thing where I'm talking about it, and hopefully getting or creating interest in everyone that follows me and my channel, whether it's Facebook, the Facebook group, Twitter, the blog, the YouTube channel. You'll be seeing a lot of stuff that comes out of this. And it's not just, hey, this is what I'm doing and you should be interested, but I'll also be sharing things that go along with the theme of the channel, which is to share information, things that I'm learning, rigs or interesting ideas that will help me in my movie, but also may help you in your filmmaking. So watch out for that. And of course, this is also leading up to a Kickstarter campaign that I'm going to use to generate my budget, and I'll be asking for everyone's help with that. If you don't mind supporting me after hopefully I've supported you in your filmmaking efforts by sharing things for free. Hopefully, that'll be a symbiotic relationship, which is one of the reasons I started this channel, was to generate interest in things that I was doing by, giving away things that would help you, and then someday asking maybe to help me. So this is one of those times, but you'll be learning a lot of exactly what I'm doing from start to finish on this movie. I've already got a crew assembled, I've got a producer, there's an associate producer, I've got a concept artist, which is what the blog post was about last week. I shared the initial sketches, concept sketches for the movie of 3 characters. Anyway, so that's what's happening there. Again, you'll be hearing a lot. You'll hear me talking about this ad nauseum over the next few months until we shoot, probably in September, late September, I'm hoping, where it's not so hot. So be prepared. Again, if you want to ask me a question on this show, send me an email to thefrugalfilmmaker@gmail.com. There's also the blog, thefrugalfilmmaker.com, which is kind of the hub of all the Frugal Filmmaker material. There's the Facebook group, which is very active and a great place to answer questions or find answers to questions. There's Twitter, @FrugalFilmmaker, and of course the YouTube channel. All those links are down below, as well as all the links that accumulated last week. So enjoy those and have a good week making movies.